Welcome to a new story. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there lived a kind and gentle king who ruled over a peaceful kingdom. The king had a beautiful daughter, who was known throughout the land for her kindness and compassion. The princess was loved by all, but she was not content, for she had never seen the outside world beyond the castle walls. One day, the princess decided to sneak out of the castle to explore the kingdom. She put on a disguise and set off on her journey. She saw many wonderful things on her journey, but she also saw many people who were suffering. She met poor farmers, struggling to make ends meet, and she saw children who had no food or shelter. The princess knew she had to help these people, so she returned to the castle and told her father about the suffering she had seen. The king was heartbroken and knew he had to do something to help his people. So, he called a meeting of all the wise men and women in the kingdom to come up with a plan. After many days of discussion, they came up with a plan to build new houses for the poor, to provide food and clothing for the hungry, and to create jobs for those who were unemployed. The king and princess worked tirelessly to make this plan a reality, and soon the kingdom was a place where everyone had enough to eat, a roof over their heads, and a chance to work and build a better life for themselves and their families. The princess was happy to have helped her people, and she knew that she could make a difference in the world. She realized that the true treasure of the kingdom was not the gold and jewels in the castle, but the happiness and well-being of the people. As the princess grew older, she realized that her desire to help others was not limited to just her kingdom. She wanted to help people all over the world. So, she began to travel to other lands, to learn about the problems facing people in other parts of the world, and to find ways to help. The princess traveled to deserts, where she helped to build wells to provide clean water for the people. She traveled to mountains, where she helped to build schools and provide education for children. She traveled to the rainforest, where she helped to protect the animals and the environment. And wherever she went, the princess brought hope and happiness to the people she met. One day, the princess returned to her kingdom, and she brought with her a group of people from all the different lands she had visited. They were people who had been helped by her kindness and generosity, and they wanted to thank her and to share their stories with the people of her kingdom. The princess's father, the king, was so moved by the stories he heard that he decided to hold a grand festival in honor of the princess and her work. The festival was attended by people from all over the kingdom, and they were inspired by the princess's kindness and compassion. As the festival came to a close, the princess stood before the crowd and spoke. She told them that she had learned that the most important thing in life was to help others, and that by working together, they could make the world a better place for all. The people of the kingdom were touched by the princess's words, and they vowed to follow her example and to work together to help others. And from that day on, the kingdom was known not only for its prosperity and peace, but also for its kindness and generosity. As the years went by, the princess's fame and reputation for her kindness and generosity spread far and wide. People from all over the world came to her kingdom to learn from her and to be inspired by her work. The princess's father, the king, was proud of his daughter and all that she had accomplished. One day, an envoy from a neighboring kingdom came to visit the princess. The envoy was sent by the queen of the neighboring kingdom, who had heard of the princess's work and wanted to ask for her help. The neighboring kingdom was in the midst of a terrible drought, and the crops were failing, and the people were going hungry. The princess knew she had to help, so she immediately set off to the neighboring kingdom with a team of experts to help find a solution to the drought. After many days of studying the land, the princess and her team discovered that the drought was caused by a lack of irrigation. So, they set to work building a system of canals and dams to bring water to the fields. The work was hard and dangerous, but the princess and her team were determined to help the people of the neighboring kingdom. And after many months of hard work, the irrigation system was completed, and the crops began to grow again. The people of the neighboring kingdom were overjoyed and thanked the princess for her help. The princess returned home to her kingdom, but she did not forget about the people of the neighboring kingdom. She made sure to send them food and supplies during the next harvest, and she continued to help them in any way she could. The neighboring kingdom's queen was so grateful for the princess's help that she invited her to the neighboring kingdom's palace. The queen and the princess became good friends, and they worked together in many projects that benefits the people of their kingdoms. As the princess grew older, she became a respected leader not just in her own kingdom but in many other kingdoms as well. She was known as a champion of the people and a true leader in the world. The princess's father, the king, passed away, but she continued to lead her kingdom with the same kindness and compassion that had always guided her. The princess's kingdom was a shining example of what can be achieved when people work together to help others, and her story inspired people for generations to come. The end. As the day comes to a close, and the world falls asleep, remember that you are loved, and your dreams will be sweet. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, let the night embrace you with its gentle caress. Good night, little one, may your sleep be blessed. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more.